Saint of the Day. June 26th. 1. Saint Josemaria Escriva de Balaguer. On June 26th, the Catholic Church commemorates the life of Saint Josemaria Escriva, priest and founder of the Prelature of the Holy Cross and Opus Dei. He was born in Barbastro, Spain on January 9, 1902 into a pious family. When he was young, he one day saw bare footprints left in the snow by a monk. The small sign left a great impression of holiness on the young man that would begin to guide his life and foster a vocation to the priesthood. He developed a prayer life intensely centered on the Eucharist during his priestly studies in Logroño, and also cultivated deep devotion to Mary. The Blessed Virgin has always helped me to discover her son's desires, he said, and would often pray for her to ask God to reveal his will to him. On March 28, 1925, Josemaria was ordained to the priesthood. During his early ministry, he worked among a variety of people, including children, students, artists, and workers, while also teaching law to help support his mother and sister. 3 years later, while on retreat, Josemaria saw the mission God intended for him, that of opening up a new spirituality and vocational path for the laity in the form of Opus Dei, the work of God. This prelature would become the central focus of his life, serving many of the unmet spiritual needs of lay people at the time. The young movement began to grow quickly, attracting in particular university students. In the late 1930s, the Spanish Civil War brought great hardships for the church while Josemaria continued his work. His reputation for holiness, and thus his movement, began to grow in this time. In 1946, Josemaria moved to Rome to obtain papal recognition of his movement from Pope Pius XII, which was granted the following year. Even as successive popes sent their blessings and affection, the work involved in expanding Opus Dei took a toll on Josemaria. Nonetheless, he is said to have never stopped smiling. Josemaria welcomed Pope John XXIII's calling of the Second Vatican Council. His work in expanding the way to holiness for lay persons was seen by the Council Fathers seen as a precursor to Vatican II's renewed focus on the life of the laity. He worked swiftly to implement the Council's decisions into the life and worship of Opus Dei. In the latter years of his life, Josemaria traveled throughout the world to catechize his organization, often drawing crowds of thousands. On June 26, 1975, Josemaria died in his workroom of a heart attack. The last thing he ever looked upon was an hanging icon of Our Lady. At his death, Opus Dei was present on all inhabited continents, numbering over 60,000 people from more than 80 nationalities. 2. Saint Pelagius. Saint Pelagius was a 13-year-old Christian who was martyred for refusing to denounce his faith and convert to Islam in Córdoba, Spain in 925. 10th century Córdoba was the most powerful and glorious time in the world for the Muslim caliphates, and they boasted the largest mosque outside of the Kaaba in Mecca. Pelagius, as a 10-year-old boy, was taken hostage by the Moors of Córdoba during a rampage in a Christian town. He was in captivity for 3 years and nobody had made any attempt to ransom him. The Emir of Córdoba offered him his freedom if he would convert to Islam. The boy refused and the Emir had him tortured and killed. He is said to have endured 6 hours of constant excruciating pain until he died. Saint Pelagius is venerated in Leon, Córdoba, and Oviedo, where his relics have been kept since they were transferred there in 985. Saint Josemaria Escriva de Balaguer and Saint Pelagius, pray for us. K. Carla Channel.